Thank you, Mike. I once read that if you don't think musicals are real life, then you're hanging out with the wrong people. The first 2 chapters of Luke are a musical of biblical proportion, almost suggesting that the story of Jesus' birth can't be expressed by words alone. There's the song of the shepherds singing in their field at night, Zechariah singing a thrill of hope after a long silence, and Mary's song, the Magnificat, is the act before us today. Now, if you remember, this song takes place right after Mary appears at Elizabeth's home. If you recall, at the sound of Mary's voice, the child in Elizabeth's womb jumped for joy. And Elizabeth tells Mary, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. Blessed is she who believed that there would be a fulfillment of what was spoken to her by the Lord." This rejoicing from Elizabeth, her affirmation of this good news from the angel Gabriel, fills Mary with joy, and she bursts into this beautiful song of praise and hope. Mary's song joins the songs and the prayers of the generations of women before her. Hannah, Miriam, Deborah, and Judith. Her rejoicing is rooted in remembering what God has done and what God is still doing from generation to generation. Connecting with Elizabeth helped her remember and joyfully anticipate what was to come. Mary's faith is expressed through her song. She sings a song of God overturning powers that destroy. She sings praises for God's promises to the faithful, for God doing something new, for God lifting up the lowly, God feeding the hungry, God bringing down the powerful, God looking with favor upon God's servants. She sings a song of hope. Her soul magnifies God. Her spirit rejoices in this good news. How can she keep from singing? How can we keep from singing? If hope feels out of reach, singing has the power to transform us. And not just singing, but listening to music. Even sitting in a room or touching the piano or playing an oboe, feeling those vibrations, they all have the power to change us, to heal us. Music, as our choir can probably attest to, reduces stress. It improves moods. It increases energy levels, decreases pain intensity, and even helps with cognitive function. It has been shown to help stroke patients speak and Parkinson's patients walk. And it's a powerful tool in trauma therapy. I read one music therapist describe it in this way. Think of a brick wall. We build walls to protect ourselves from pain. Words can bounce off those walls, failing to break through our defenses. But music has a way of seeping through the cracks. Educational studies have shown that a song is the best way to communicate something to a person if you want them to remember it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? Think of how little you were when you learned that song. When I took U.S. history in high school, there were two things that we had to remember and recite to the class: the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln and American Pie by John McClane. And guess which one I remember to this day? Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Oh, yes, the levee, but the levee was... Okay, all right, we know it, see? If you went to church as a child, think of those songs that you know best. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Or maybe this one. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. And how about this one? Maybe if you went to church camp, you might know this. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. Now, I love it. I love it. Our own Magnificat this morning. I know Linnell knows this as a music therapist and a professional musician, but I recently learned that when we sing in groups, our heartbeats can actually synchronize. They begin beating together, increasing and slowing down. Singing has the power to transform, to heal us, and to bring us together. On this night, Christmas Eve in 1914, fighting ceased on some of the front lines of the Great War, and soldiers began singing Silent Night. They laid down their weapons, stepped out of their trenches, and recognized the humanity in each other, and they sang. Mary grew up in a time of war and occupation. She probably never knew true peace and liberation. Not only is hers a song of praise, it's a song of resistance. It's a dream, it's a hope of what the world can be. We hear these songs still. Mahalia Jackson singing, "We Shall Overcome." Jill Jackson Miller's "Let There Be Peace on Earth," first sung by the International Children's Choir. And Sam Cooke's "A Change Is Gonna Come." When did you sing a story of hope? When did you sing a song that was part of a dream of something different? When did you sing your song as a prayer, a song of lament, a song that you lifted up to God in desperation? How did that change you? How did that change you? Yesterday morning, I joined people from around the globe and worshiped with the Christmas Lutheran Church at Bethlehem Bible College. Their staff, led by Reverend Dr. Munther Isaac, led a liturgy of lament, Christ in the rubble. It was 6 p.m. in Bethlehem and 8 a.m. here, and there were some technical difficulties on the live stream, so we joined a little late in the middle of a beautiful song. I couldn't understand the words that were being spoken, but I could hear the joy in their voices and in the music coming from the instruments. When the song ended, one of the ministers walked up and welcomed everyone who was joining online. He said that the song was an expression of the Palestinian love of music and art. The service continued with more introductions. People from around the world had gathered to worship and stand in support of peace. And after a prayer, the music picked back up. During the song, the camera panned across the congregation, and you could see the sadness in their eyes and hear the weariness in their voices. As the service continued, Reverend Isaac lamented that the world does not care. The church does not care. In the shadow of the Christmas story, we are angry. We are broken. We are mourning. As the service came to an end, a Magnificat for today was lifted up, a beloved song from generation to generation. And as we look towards tonight, as we look towards welcoming God's love breaking into this world in the form of a baby born to a mother in an occupied land, we were invited for this song to be our prayer.